You here knows what it's like to feel their purpose. Hey, keep your hand up if you also know what it's like to feel nervousness and excitement at the same time. I met John when I was 34. He had a business that was turning in about $2 million. And things on the outside did pretty good. Except on the inside, he's doing so good. He had this habit of triggering to his clients. He had this jarring relationship with his team. And he was in a point where he could trust his team. Everything had to come through him. Every decision, every workflow, every email, it's exhausting. It's horrible. He was afraid if he even took holiday, things would just fall apart. So he came to me. He came for business coaching. What he quickly realized after we started work together was it wasn't the business that needed coaching. It was John. So we dived into it. We realized he had this control pattern where he was addicted to control. It wasn't allowing him to have the business that he wanted. So he got into it and created some huge transformations for him. Instead of trying to control his business, he started to create trust, connection. He started listening to his team. And what started to open up was they started to feel his trust. They started to feel his support. He started to feel their support. And so he started to step back. They started to step forward. They started to rise into their brilliance because he gave it a chance. And very soon he realized he could actually rely on him. So much so that he actually gave himself the chance to take the first holiday in years. And guess what? His business didn't fall apart. And he started to learn he could make himself renowned. And he did. Bit by bit, he took one more holidays. And it wasn't just about passively stepping back and being lazy. He realized with that space and that energy, he got to pour his love into the business. He got to work on the business. He wasn't stuck in it. So before he felt handcuffed to the business, now he realized he was free of it and he got to pour his love and his energy into it. All because he now made a team that he could rely on. They were capable, they were confident, and they were clear. Now the best part is that he got to spend more time with his family. He didn't even know that he was going to get that. He was flying across Australia to visit his kids. His health was the best that it's ever been. He's going to the gym every single day. He lived out in the bush. He was driving an hour every single day to the gym. And beautifully, in the next 12 months, his revenue tripled from $2 million to $6 million. And we didn't even talk about business. So I'd like to invite you also. What if instead of being the bobber champion, you could be the one that steps in and opens and expands and allows the team to trust, leave. What if instead of being controlled, could be trusted? And that's what you've got. What if we could have a business that runs itself, that's self-reliant, that no longer is dependent on us? My name is Chris Jackson. Chris Action Jackson, as some of my clients say. And I work with business owners who are looking to evolve themselves, who are ready to step into the next level of leadership that allows them to have that business that grows beyond themselves. There's no reliance on them being there. Now, I didn't always used to be this. Many, many years ago, I used to be a mechanical engineer working in the mining industry in Australia, walking around in boots in the dust, also jumping on my computer looking at spreadsheets. And I was very strong with my left brain, analysis, logic, and I was really good at it. But like many of you have been through an experience, that's not necessarily fulfilling. If you're not doing something that your heart is not aligned with, it becomes very empty, it becomes an old victory. And so what I realized very quickly was it wasn't for me. What do? I went on a sabbatical. I went to South America, I traveled. And while I was there, I was traveling with my girlfriend. We broke up in a hotel room in Brazil. The relationship just capitulated. And what was I left with? I was left with some brutal feedback. She let me know that I wasn't the boyfriend that I thought that I was. And as it turned out, it actually wasn't her who's the problem. It was me. And so that's what led to what I call my mini awakening. That line in the sand moment where I realized it wasn't what was outside of me that mattered, that was creating my reality. It was what was inside. Big sun. Whoa, you see that? And what followed is this beautiful realization that I am the one. I am the creator of my reality. And if I'm the creator, I can create something different. That's pretty cool. And so I took that really, really deep. I went on this personal development journey, light medicine ceremonies, meditation retreats, leadership trainings, you know, I went down the rabbit hole, body to water. And every single training, I learned more and more and more about the holistic picture and what was required in order to create reality. And it wasn't everything that I was taught at school. It's not just about the spreadsheets and the business plan of the numbers. I learned it was actually about everything else, including my emotional intelligence, my belief systems, my identity, my trauma. This whole world started to open up and I realized, oh my Lord, there's a whole entire world out there of people that have no idea what's actually going on. I need to know about this. So I devoted my life then to bringing together the left and the right brain, the mind and the heart, the logic and the intuition, so that business owners and entrepreneurs would all come together and realize that those people that were just relying on one of those domains, they weren't going to get the whole picture. They weren't going to have the business they were looking for if they didn't have that picture. And so I started running seminars, trainings, retreats across Australia and around the world. And it was incredible because I discovered this medicine that I was here to give to the world. I was the bridge between these two dimensions. The guy who could speak the language of business and the guy that could speak the language of the heart and the soul to bring together. This is really cool. This is what we're here to do. And so how I got connected to this was one of the very first clients that I worked with. I met him at a Tony Robbins retreat. He had a $50 million business. And he said, Chris, there's something about you. I need your help. This guy's like, big to him. And I'm like, sure, yeah, I can help you. I was just bravado, pretend. Yeah, I've got this. Anyway, I started talking to him. The only thing I really needed to do at that stage is do all this spreadsheet. You know, he had a $50 million business. I said, great. Where else is the extra money? He's like, oh, we can do this, we can do that. There's $100 million. He got really excited. I got really excited. And then we started working on it. And then what I quickly realized was the numbers in the spreadsheet weren't going to create themselves. And what was actually creating the numbers in the spreadsheets was something far, far beyond that inside him. And so I helped him realize that when we work on him, the numbers in the spreadsheet go up. When we work on improving his emotional intelligence, his team responds better to him. And so I kind of stumbled across this experiment where I realized, wow, there's so much more to this. There's so many business owners that are stuck trying to ChatGPT their way through a business plan without realizing the thing that's really going to create it is that which is inside of them, their state of being, their consciousness, who they are being in their life. There's emanating outward into every facet of their life. And this is what I was blessed to give to all this medicine of helping someone reveal to themselves their blind spots, this unconscious aspect of themselves that they don't even know that's there is blocking them. Whilst they're focusing on the spreadsheet or the strategy, there's this invisible part of them that's playing out. That's the beauty of what I get to do. Is I get to illumine. And here's what I learned. A business can only rise as high as the consciousness of the person who wants it. Someone's depth of inner leadership is going to determine the depth of interior success they can attract around. What I learned is that the single greatest leverage point in creation is our state of being, which is something that is essentially invisible to most kicks. And what I learned is that many business owners had no idea that this is even a that's being played. So here's what's possible for you and more. Imagine going beyond just strategy, information, knowledge. And imagine creating a business that is built from embodiment, that is built on you being the leader that you know in your heart you want to be. Imagine a world where we lead from our heart and to create from the place inside of us that is primary, instead of creating from a plan or a spreadsheet, creating somewhere deeper. Imagine having a business that is no longer the line us, but is now an area team to step in there to lead themselves. Imagine not being the bottleneck, and instead imagine being a giver. Now here's how you can get started. You might be wondering, you might be wondering why the bolt? Thank you. It's a courageous question, right? Well, here's 3 things that you can ask yourself, people. Number 1, does everything have to flow through you? Decisions, workflows, emails, that kind of stuff? Does it all have to go through you? Headshot bomb. Nothing wrong with that. Number 2, do you not trust something about your team, your business, so that you can't fully relax? What I call that. And number 3, do you find that perhaps maybe others come to you with problems to solve, rather than them going away and solving the problem and coming to you with the solution? Now, if you answered yes to any one of those 3, don't worry, somebody brought. Just you with bulk. Now, the good news is, you're not alone. And this is a common universal phenomenon that every single one of my clients comes to me with, and is very, very new. And the great news is there's an easy solution. Now, the great news is there's nothing broken with your business. Your business is not stuck. Now, I invite you to consider that in order to get unstuck, there's easy knots. I invite you to step into exploring if you are the bottleneck. Embracing that question, what if I'm the bottleneck? That might be the greatest realization or revelation you've ever had. And sing as Woodford, I am a bottleneck, and that's okay. Because when you're committed to stepping into becoming the leader that your business needs you to be, your business is no longer reliant on you. It gives you a business that now runs without you, but because it runs without you, now you get to pour more into it. It frees you up to give more to it. So my wish for you, after the lot, is to let go of the need to control your visits. Give it wings. Realize that perhaps the only thing stopping you and your business from expanding to becoming everything it can be is just some simple things that you got your heart. Maybe it's nothing outside. Maybe it's everything inside, which is perhaps the greatest and most valuable realization you might ever have. So my wish for you and the world is that you step into your true powered visionary leadership, where your business no longer relies on you. Instead, your business no longer relies on you. It can grow beyond you. Let your business grow these.